there, and welcome back to Weird Soda for Life. I tried to come up with a Lana Del Rey slash Cel-Ray joke, but I really couldn't come up with anything. So if you let me know in the comments, if you've come up with something that you think is funny, I am happy to read it. With that, let's talk a little bit about Cel-Ray. So Dr. Brown. Dr. Brown is the brand in the soda is ubiquitous with Jewish delicatessens. You would see this sort of thing in like Brooklyn and stuff like in places like that. And specifically too, Cel-Ray is known for being really good with a good pastrami sandwich. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a good pastrami sandwich, but I've never had the pleasure of having it with Cel-Ray. But let's talk a little bit about the origins of this. Whenever I see a soda that's begun in like the 1870s through the 1890s, I always think, you started as a health thing, didn't you? And sure enough, it did. Cel-Ray is the OG flavor in the Dr. Brown suite. There's not actually no real evidence that Dr. Brown even existed as a real person, but it's not uncommon for things that are being sold as health foods to have a doctor associated with it. And that's kind of what the theory is with this. This started as a celery tonic. Celery at the time was known as a superfood of the 1870s. Supposed to like calm your stomach and help heal your bowels. To which I kind of want to respond to the 1870s people. Maybe if you weren't eating poisoned food all the time because you didn't have any food regulations, maybe you wouldn't have so much issues with your bowels. But I guess here we go. So soda. But anyway, so this celery tonic is created. It's thick. It's gross, and so people are like, well, how do we sell this? How do we make this more palatable? I know. We'll put bubbles in it. And honestly, I'm here for that. Like, let's put bubbles in a lot of things. It makes a lot of things more palatable. I would love to take a lot of my medicine with bubbles in it. So let's go move on that. But because of that, right? So they add the bubbles to it. They make it but they're still selling it as a tonic. But it's palatable, and they're selling it in a lot of delis. Around 1908, the FDA, remember, those guys, the ones where I was complaining about the like poison food before. Well, by 1908, those dudes exist, the FDA, and they're like, sir and or madam, this is not a health tonic. This is not a tonic at all, so we're going to need you to change your name and stop identifying as a tonic. And so that's when the name changes from like Dr. Brown's celery soda to Cel-Ray. Again, today, Dr. Brown's is ubiquitous with Jewish delicatessens. But I have seen it in some places around Michigan. I've had different flavors. They do have different flavors. They have black cherry, which is really good, and the cream soda is really good too. I haven't tried them all, but this is definitely the weirdest one. And it's sort of a weird sort of vestige of early soda history, kind of like some of the other ones we tried, like Moxie, that sort of thing. So it really falls under the umbrella of that. It's also, I read in a couple places, referred to as the Jewish champagne, which, okay. I kind of just thought that was a neat thing. I'm always a sucker for fun names. It's apparently made of celery seed, so there is some truth in advertising there that it is made from at least some part of celery. I don't know why you would lie about having celery in a soda that is essentially a celery soda, but I've seen weirder things. And with that, let's see what we've gotten ourselves into today. Oh, and a special thanks to my official soda procurer, Porter, for getting me the Cel-Ray soda. I would be remiss without either thanking her or blaming her, depending on how this turns out. So with that, let's see what we've gotten ourselves into. And look, no cap. Oh, that's interesting. So it smells a little sweet, but you can definitely smell like the celery in it, and that is a little odd. Let's take a look at this. There. Oh, yeah. So like it does look like a champagne. It actually looks like a ginger ale, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I could see where you would call this sort of champagne-esque looking at it. And that's now that we have a wider I was gonna say whole, that's not great, but like a wider sphere in which to like smell it. Let's see if we can get any more notes from this. Yeah, that's like sweet and celery-ish. I'm intrigued. It's look, anything's gotta be better than the turkey and gravy and the mustard soda. So like I'm here for anything. Down the hatch. Huh. Yo, that's ginger soda with that's ginger soda. That's ginger ale with celery in it. Um, that's not bad. I would drink that again. And I could totally see why you would drink it with like a salty meat like a pastrami. It's sweet. I would see why you would drink it with something that's super salty. Um, that's really good. I would. Uh, well, thanks, Porter. I guess. Uh, yeah, that's delicious. I don't really have a lot more to say about it. It does taste like celery a little bit. It tastes like if you had celery and mixed it around in your Canada Dry because it's sweet and stuff. Well, I guess not Canada Dry, but you mix it around in there, you'd essentially get the equivalent of this. This is great. I see why people want to drink it, which is more than I can say for the majority of the sodas that I drank last month. So we are starting off February with a bang. So, huzzah! I'm so excited. Um, but next week, it'll be a little early, but it's our Valentine's Day episode, and with that, we are going to try a Carolina Reaper soda because nothing spells love like fiery burning soda. I promise. Anyway, um, until then, drink weird and like seriously, go get this and go get yourself a salty meat sandwich because like that was really good. See you next time.